ledge. And I reviewed that in myself. And so when other obstacles came up in life after skydiving, I'm still skydiving today, I would use the same techniques to get over that obstacle as jumping off a ledge or jumping out of an airplane. And every time I go up in an airplane, I take something with me that I need to forgive or something I need to work on, and I just let it go as I jump out the airplane. So every time I jump out that airplane, I have a different thing that I take up there with me, because we're, imperfect humans. And I just let it go. And it's such an amazing feeling. And I've done that with the things that I want to improve with as a musician. We all have things that we want to improve in. There's certain things in the music world that I wanted to improve in. And I was able to do that by getting over my fear of what was holding me back and just being conscious of what those fears were and having that conversation over and over again until I tackled the problem.
Wow, that's powerful. And it's something that we can all do in confronting our fears, right? You can actually make this a process or a practice of, I love that, 1, 2, 3, go. That's what I remember most, was that once you're in the plane, there's really no turning back. You step out onto the ledge and, your jump master pushes you. I mean, not aggressively, but you're touched out, you're not going back the other way. Yes. And so, just getting in the plane, for all of us confronting our fears, but having that moment where you take off, right? And there's, you just launch yourself. I've felt that experience in athletic endeavors like bungee jumping or skydiving or skiing or whatever. But in our daily lives, we confront things that we are afraid of all the time. And I love that metaphor of bringing something in to let go of, and also, 1, 2, 3, go. There's no turning back. You're just diving into that thing.
You're diving into the unknown. And that's what fear really is. It's like this unknown territory, and you have the fear because you don't know what's going to happen once you get into that territory. And so there's nothing to be afraid of. When you think about all the possible things that could go wrong, when it comes to skydiving is actually safer than driving a car.
Right. There's fewer accidents, percentage-wise, right?
And so you train well, you have the training, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, and it's just about doing it when you need to do it, and getting over the fear of that.
Well, and it's the same, I'm imagining, when you go up on stage, whether you're speaking or singing, and I've seen you captivating crowds of very skeptical people, high level and very skeptical and very successful people just be enraptured by you. But we all have those moments where we're going out in front of, or we're talking to one client, right? Or a new client to take them on a new matter or something that can activate that fear inside of ourselves.
And it's funny because on stage, I'm never afraid on stage. I'm never afraid to get on stage. I'm never afraid to speak on stage or perform on stage. Like the stage thing for me is like easy. That's the easy part. Like I'm used to speaking in front of audiences that have no clue what the topic's going to be. And once I start talking about it, they're like, huh? And then they understand and we connect, which I love that. And I'm so used to being a little too early on certain topics, I would say. Not that the world is too slow. It's just, okay, this information that I have is about the future. It's going to happen. 5 years is going to happen with or without us. 10 years is going to happen with or without us. So you might as well think long term. And based on what we see today and what we saw in our past, there are futuristic things that are inevitable that are going to happen. And then when you start talking about those futuristic things, people get scared, because they feel like what they're doing today is a threat. When what we all should be doing as human beings is always evolving ourselves. And if you're always evolving, you're never a threat. Nothing that comes at you is a threat because you're always evolving, adapting, and changing. That's what we're designed to do, to connect with human beings, spread love, spread conscious awareness, and actually evolve. But people get set in their ways. And it's easy to get into this trap of the familiar. But I like to take every day and do something unfamiliar every single day. And that's just me, but
Well,
it's
you're
because of
doing
that.
it. It's powerful. I love that. We're always evolving. Remember that, everyone who's here listening with us today. But what are you seeing that's coming up today, and that you know about, that you're seeing for the future, that you can challenge us to be prepared for or to stay open to?
Well, I will say this. I am not a financial advisor. However, the proof is in the pudding when it comes to what's happening today and at a global level. There is going to be something called hyperinflation coming soon. I believe fiat currency is going to be the dinosaur of the world, and we're going to move more towards digital currency. Digital currency is the future. And everyone who doesn't have any digital currency in their portfolios right now should do some research and consider it, because that's going to be the new global standard. It's going to be digital currencies. So you should set yourself up and prepare now for that, so that you're not behind when things start to really escalate in that category worldwide. I mean, it's already picking up now. However, I would say digital currency is the future. Also, the aspect of ownership is going to change due to different technologies called artificial intelligence, quote unquote AI, which means there's going to be a change in authorship and ownership, because AIs are going to be creating more things than they create now. And so for the human being to be attached to, I authored this paper, I authored this painting, I authored this or that, it's going to be a little different, because AI is going to be assisting us more than it is today. And so that's another thing to consider, the idea of authorship and the idea of ownership and the roles that plays in today's society, and how that's going to shift in the future due to AI technology. It's here with or without us. And
Wow.
I have more.
No, yeah, please.
If
We
like.
have a couple
Okay.
minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay. That, and I think everyone should consider doing something creative, even if they don't think they're creative. Everyone is creative. Every time you make a decision, that's actually a creative thing that you do. Making decisions is not easy, and everyone has creative capacities in their body, in their brains, and their everyday things that they do every day. They just don't see it. And because I think, this is a thought, I don't know if this is going to happen, but this is what I think there's not going to be much jobs in our future. I think a lot of those jobs will be taken by automation, different forms of AI. I think they'll be taken up, are actually just not needed, the changing needs of society. And so for that reason, I think everyone should think about something creative they can do, because they're going to be a little bit bored when there's going to be less jobs available worldwide. And so that's another one.
Wow, that's fantastic. You've given us so much food for thought, and it's interesting when you talk about authorship as an artist. I look forward to seeing what new ways you create. And please, thank you so much, first of all, for all this incredible value and wisdom that you've shared with us today. I know you out there are going to want to listen to this over and over again. There's so much to unpack. Shelita, how can our listeners find you?
Oh, okay. So a great way to find me is SHELITABURKE.com, or you can go to Instagram @ Shelita Burke. That would be the best way to find me.
Fantastic. We have that in the show notes, everybody, so
yes.
you
or
will
you can email
find
me
her.
Too.
Okay.
You can also email me, as long as it's not spam.
Right. Is that Shelita@live.com?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well, that's going to be on the webpage, everybody, so you can find those. Shelita, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so honored that you took time in between jumps out of airplanes to come and be with us.
I'm honored that you have me here today. Thank you so much.
I hope we'll get to have you back. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you.